Hi there. My name's Patrick, and I made this channel to review things for you at home. Review anything, television, literature, music. I wanted to give my unique and opinionated point of view about things I like. Today's review, my first review, is for a television show that I watch a lot of, and seems to occupy a lot of my time. That show is Glee. It may seem unusual that I watch Glee. I know I sort of fit outside of the stereotype, but hey, that's why I made this review. I wanted to show that Glee can be enjoyed by people like me. Glee is about show choir, singing, dancing, performing, all that comes with it, and set in a high school in Middle America. One of the reasons I started watching Glee is because I went to high school. I had an average high school experience. I was in the performing arts at my high school. I did choirs, I did musical theater, and so I thought, hey, this is a show I could get the jokes and have a good time. That's one of the things that was funny about Glee when it began. It was a satire. It was an exaggerated viewpoint of American high school and tropes about musical theater and singing and dancing and teen shows and all that thing. That humor and that absurdity was one of the things I liked, a lot of people liked. What happened was it sort of declined, as most television shows do. They go into decline. The show did get worse. And one of the reasons it did get worse, I think, from my opinion, is that the show had difficulty balancing popularity with their original creative intent. What they saw was that the show's audience was skewing younger than they had anticipated. And so once they saw this young teenage girl demographic with lots of disposable income, they started pandering to that audience, having more popular songs, more songs per episode that were all just didn't really fit in with the plot and just were there to make money. And people always say, oh, if you see all these problems with the show, why do you keep watching? That's the thing. Real fans of Glee are the people who hate it the most. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's true. Nobody hates Glee more than its biggest fans. And the thing is, I relate it to something like Star Wars, in that it became bigger than itself in the eyes of many of its fans. They saw the potential of what a show like this could do for them, for everyone, and when they saw that the show failed in their mind to live up to this potential, they began to resent that. They viewed it as something that was theirs, that was not being done right by the show's creators. And that's something I saw in Star Wars. People hate George Lucas. People hate what he does to Star Wars. And the same can be said for Glee. They like the show, they like the cast, they like what the show could be, they don't like what it is and who runs it. With this in mind, why real Glee fans hate Glee, why do we keep watching? It's all about hope. We hope that it will get better, and it might be an idiotic view, but we keep watching. Because we hope. One of the things I notice most about Glee that's strange is that I acknowledge that the show's audience is primarily female. Being a male, am in a minority, and that's okay with me. I enjoy the show nonetheless. But with the fact that the show's audience is primarily female, I find it often astounding how poorly the writing for female characters on the show is. And that's something I think is very obvious if you take a close look at it. I'm a man, but I can see misogyny in my media, and that's something I dislike. And it might stem from the fact that I did not have much luck with women in my lifetime, and when I see men who value themselves better than me with women and they treat them poorly, that makes me mad. And even if it's a fictional character, man, it still pisses me off. And that is one of the problems with Glee. The most developed male characters treat women horribly. And the fact is, with a show that's audience is primarily female, that's not a good thing. Let me use an example. The most recent episode that aired of Glee was entitled On My Way, and was the winter finale before a long 7-week hiatus. And one of the primary plots of this episode is the wedding of protagonists Finn Hudson and Rachel Berry. They are in high school. They've been in high school for 4 years. They're seniors, and they decided to get married. The sad part is that this entire wedding subplot seems to be based on the fact that Finn Hudson's life is going nowhere, and he's afraid that Rachel will leave him behind, so he's guilting her into being with him and marrying him. Rachel Berry began on this show. She was driven, she had dreams, and those all seem to be dying away the longer she stays with Finn. Don't ruin the future of a girl who wants to go to New York. Like, they're setting a bad example by having her stay in this destructive relationship. On the other hand, this episode also dealt with another subplot related to the character of Quinn Fabray. Quinn Fabray has been through the ringer. It seems, like many female characters, her misfortune is either treated as humorously or a way to make a male character seem like a hero. A quick summary, if you don't watch Glee. Quinn Fabray was a popular cheerleader. She got pregnant, lied about who the father was, then got kicked out of her house, then had the baby and gave it away, then started dating a guy on Rebound who wasn't right for her, and then cheated on him with her original boyfriend who wasn't the father of the baby. And then, what else did she got dumped at a funeral, then went through a drastic personal change, dyed her hair, came back into contact with the adoptive mother of her baby, plotted to steal the baby back from the adoptive mother when she realized how stupid that idea was. She got sane again, applied to Yale, got in because she told her sad story, and got in that way. And then she's sort of building her life slowly back up to being happy now that she's moved on from her pregnancy, moved on from trying to have a boyfriend, gotten her grades in decent places, going to Yale. It's all very, very happy. And how does Glee reward her for all this pain and suffering that she gets T-boned by a truck? On any other show, this sort of rise, fall, and return would be admirable. Yet on Glee, it's almost viewed as a cautionary tale. It's almost like saying, don't be the girl who's fixing her life on independently. That girl gets hit by cars. Instead, be the girl that gets married at 17 to a guy who doesn't treat her right. That's the problematic thing. So to conclude, Glee is a show I used to watch because it was funny. It's not so much funny anymore. I seem to watch a sort of weird sense of obligation instead of watching it for enjoyment anymore. It's almost like I'm a soldier and I don't want to leave a dying man behind. It's because the cast is incredibly talented, and I almost feel sorry that they have to deal with such problematic writing. And if I were to stop watching the show, it'd almost be like I would be surrendering it to the younger teenage girl demographic that doesn't care about legitimate storytelling. If you watch Glee, keep watching it, because, like I said, don't let the teenage girls be the primary audience and ruin the show further. I think intelligent people matter, and intelligent, opinionated people who voice their opinions could change things for the better for this show. If you're someone who has not watched Glee and is thinking about whether or not to watch Glee, I'm going to advise this I'm going to advise you to wait. Just wait and see if it gets better or worse. Because if it gets worse, don't subject yourself to pain. But if it gets better, these sort of problematic points will just seem like speed bumps to the greater good. And that concludes this review. Feel free to comment if you disagree with me or want to kill me or whatever. I welcome that. If you are perhaps one of the teenage girl demographic who I have rudely insulted, I apologize.